All right, again, welcome everybody to Global Youth Forum Volunteer Stories. So for you who is joining us, wherever you are joining us from, today I got a guest who was our volunteer in 2020. So he's coming in to share a bit of his story, his journey, and probably how he thinks GYF has transformed his life. My name is Peter. I happen to also be a volunteer at Global Youth Forum, and I work with volunteers to actually create a better world. So for you who is wondering, what is Global Youth Forum? Well, Global Youth Forum, we started back in 2015, around December 12th. And how we started, it was a pure small action of engaging young people through football. So how we began, it was getting a group of young people to play football, get them out of drugs. And as years evolve, a lot of things have changed. Now we have a deep and a well-focused program that aims to empower young people with skills so that they can either get a job or create their own job. So who we work with? We work with young people between the ages of 16 and 26 years. And what we do, we engage them through sport, entrepreneurship, environment, and adventures where they learn these skills outside the classroom. So with these programs, we aim to work towards eradicating poverty in rural homes by helping either these young people getting their own jobs or creating their own jobs so that they can be able to eradicate poverty in their own homes and contribute towards the eradication of poverty. So without speaking so much, I think it is much of my guest today. So as I sit back and relax, I'll welcome my guest who is to introduce himself, tell us a bit about what he's been up to and what he's looking forward to do. So, Mr. John Mutuku, over to you. Tell us who you are.
Thank you so much, Mr. Peter. I'm very fine wherever I am. So to start, my name is John Mutuku. I am a banker by profession. I work with one of the most reputable banks in this country, and not just in this country, in Eastern Central Africa, and hopefully in a nearby future, one of the most influential banks across Africa, NCBA Bank. I work in the operations department as a cashier.
All right, so we can't dive right in without me knowing the sustainable development goal you are deeply passionate about, Mr. John. So will you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yes, of course, because this is purposely meant to encourage or rather motivate someone somewhere who is almost giving up hope in life. So what I dream of, I want to see myself in a nearby future, just a couple of years from today, as a managing director, and not just a managing director, as a managing director or MD to abbreviate, of the most successful bank in this country or somewhere in this continent, I mean in Africa. And what really cultivates this dream, I want to be honest to everyone, watching us this evening, is my relationship with God. I have the belief, or I belong to the ideology, when your relationship with God is fine, doors of success will open. So I truly believe if I continue cultivating from day to day my relationship with my maker, I'm going to be one of the most successful banker in the capacity of an MD in the history of banking in this country, if not in this continent. And I want to be sincere to you, Peter. One day you will remember this evening, 18th of September, the year 2022.
Thank you so much, Mr. John, for sharing that. I'm sure you can now hear me and see me as well.
Yes, I can hear you as well as see you.
All right. With that said, then it is the right time for me probably to paint a picture and share the vision of Global Youth Forum. So Global Youth Forum vision is to be a leading youth non-governmental organization in Africa supporting young people in co-creating a better future for all. And our mission is to empower and develop youth by enhancing their potential and ensuring they have necessary skills to either create a job or get a job. I believe that this is purely what John's vision and probably goal looks like. And probably if we look at our pillars as Global Youth Forum, education, adventures, environment, and entrepreneurship, this really fits well with Mr. John's mission and goals. And probably that's why he chose to volunteer with us. For you who is joining us or who will watch this later and you are wondering some of the events we've done, we aim to empower young people with skills so that they can get a job. So with that, we have organized Career Connect event where we have educated or engaged young people on effective ways on which they can use to probably secure jobs or get jobs. But if you look at this, we've also gone out to educate these young people in terms of life skills, things like effective communication, leadership, and problem solving that can help them add value in the communities they come from. So looking at all this, we've worked with volunteers to achieve this, and not only volunteers. We have a team of experts from across the globe supporting us, and that on behalf of volunteers, John will be representing 2020 volunteers. And just to give a quick shout out to our board of advisors, Mr. Gareth, all the way from UK, Nava from Singapore, Tapiwa from Zimbabwe, and Shiv from Kuala Lumpur. So then this now gives me a chance to ask Mr. John to dive right in and tell us, when did you learn or where did you learn about Global Youth Forum volunteer opportunity, and what inspired you to volunteer back in 2020, Mr. John?
Well, Peter, I came to notice the existence of Global Youth Forum, or in short, GYF, way back when I was pursuing my undergraduate degree in the University of Nairobi. So I used to see these folks, come in the college, in the campus, and one of them was Mr. Peter. So they will, contact sessions, and of course I had an opportunity to attend some of the sessions that you folks used, to conduct in the campus. And what really cultivated my interest in being part of GYF, it was that degree of seriousness you guys employed in the activities you conducted in college. Because I know one thing is that for you to become successful in this life, you need to be serious, you need to be organized in everything that you do. So when I saw you guys are serious folks, and I'm not just serious folks, but you are organized in what you do, I said, come on, this is the right team. This is the right team that is gonna help me make the step that I wanna make after leaving college. And I decided that I'm gonna be part of you. And there was also an inner voice, and I truly believe this is it's given to every humble human being by the Almighty God. There was a still voice inside me that used to tell me of the need as a human being to get deeper in the things that I know and offer myself to help other human beings realize themselves, make a step in life, and a living without expecting anything in return. So the combination of those two things, your seriousness and how organized you are, plus that inner voice, gave me the drive to want to join the GYF. Thank you, Mr. Peter. Back to you, Mr. Peter.
Thank you so much, John, for sharing that. I think that was brief and on point. So let's dive on to two. For example, you had learned about Global Youth Forum, you had seen our seriousness and the inner calling that gave you an insight that I really want to join this group and make an impact. What gaps, and in this case, I'm interested in either 2 or 3 gaps you experienced in your career before joining Global Youth Forum? And as a volunteer, how did Global Youth Forum volunteer experience help you bridge this particular gap?
Okay, and number one, Peter, I want to be honest and sincere to you and to our viewers this evening. Number one, these were the gaps that, that were easily identifiable in my life and in particular in my career. I was nervous, Peter. I couldn't speak before cameras. I mean, I was shy, and I wanted to one day engage myself in a program that is going to cultivate, courage and, the ability or the boldness to, speak before cameras, because I understand being, bold or being courageous enough to speak before masses is one of the most important qualities of a leader. And I've always inspired to be a great leader. And I've been a leader right away from when I was in my mother's womb. So nervousness was one gap that I wanted, to cover. I mean, create confidence within me and be able to speak before cameras. Then another thing, I wasn't that well organized in running my stars. Be either, studies related programs as well as, my personal life. So I needed individuals, I needed a team that will help me become an organized individual. Are we together? Then I wanted to polish my interpersonal skills. I mean, communication skills, my creativity and my innovation. I realized I needed to do something because I wasn't as creative as I thought I should be to be able to compete very well with other, graduates within, the job market. Because for you to be outstanding, you not only need another graduate degree, you don't need academic papers, but then you need, to have something in addition to that. And I truly believe that being creative, innovative, and, being able to handle things in an organized way was something that I needed to polish. So I knew very well that when I'm going to join GYF, they will help me, gain, ability to, create stuff in an easy way, be creative, in other words. And I knew very well I will be polished and be able to communicate in an effective way, because that was an issue to me. And Peter, you said, what was I to clarify? And how have I, gained, how have I gone about, bridging those gaps, right? Exactly. Now, I want to be honest with you. The moment I joined GYF, and I wasn't looking at what will I get in return in terms of material stuffs. I wasn't focusing whether, I will get some, tokens, nothing of that particular sort. I wanted individuals who will shape my future. And I'm telling you, the moment I joined GYF, I realized this is a no-nonsense kind of organization. People don't tolerate jokes here. It's a serious business. And I want to be honest to everyone viewing us this evening. The program that I was taken through, I felt like these guys had introduced us to a military kind of training. And I remember I would frequently, question, the style of running programs. And I will ask Peter, but in a funny way, are you putting us in a military camp? Because come on, everything is serious from the start to the end. But I'll appreciate Peter, because I discovered myself. At the end of these programs, I was able, to be creative in a manner that was totally much better than I was before I joined GYF. And I was able to communicate before masses, do presentation in class and, score sometimes the entire marks, because I will do marvelous or rather wonderful presentations. So I want to be sincere to you all that GYF really helped me to become a serious person or a no-nonsense guy. And up to date, I don't tolerate some jokes when it comes, to matters that pertain, shaping someone's future. Thank you, Mr. Peter.
Thank you so much. you excited me when you say you are born a leader, but before, like when you are still in your mother's womb, you are still a leader, which makes me more like I really want to be like inside my mom's womb, but still be a leader. Exciting insights there, a bit of confidence building, presentation making, getting organized, really good skills to have. But now let's get into this one. What project or activities, maybe a viewer out there or person who will watch this later is wondering, what activity or project did you carry out while volunteering at Global Youth Forum? And what top 3 skills did you get from this activity or this project that you worked on?
I remember the project of cleaning cars. And this was a very cultivating session or activity. And it was very amazing to go back to the college. I studied, go back to my lecturers and, come on, wash their vehicles for no pay. So what we did the very first time when I got in GYF after orientation, being told of what we will be doing. Our first program was, I remember very well, the most serious and I will never forget program was a charity work we did. We went back to my former college and we decided to clean cars. We never looked at, the universities we studied because some of us came from great universities like Mr. Peter, who is hosting this session, is an alumni of University of Nairobi. So we went there and we washed cars, we cleaned the cars, and we were not asking for any pay. And my lecturers were surprised as John, lost direction, or does he have nothing to do and he's idle? That's why he's back here, to clean our cars. But I want to be honest, what I learned from that particular activity, it was a very important quality that when any human being misses that quality, is rendered or rather is declared insignificance in this particular life. Being humble, I was made to be humble. Going to wash someone's car and you own nothing, you don't own any car. And I cleaned them with perfection. And at the end of that session, I realized in this life, you need to be humble. And if you are going to be humble, the systems will elevate you and cause you to be, a great person. So I learned being humble. Then another thing I realized, oh, come on, it was not just washing cars, but then it was all about organizing and, bringing team together, because I was not cleaning the car alone, the cars alone. I was cleaning the cars with other team members, some other volunteers. So we had to organize ourselves and know who is going to be cleaning the windscreen, who is going to be cleaning from behind. And I want to be honest with you, we coordinated stuff, and from that particular activity, apart from learning how to be humble in this life, I learned organization skills. For you to be successful and clean someone's car, and when they come, they look at the amazing work you've done, they just get in their pockets and give you 1,000 Kenyan shillings and say, I want to support your program, I want to support GYF, you guys have done an amazing thing, I've never seen this before. That to me really made me feel, oh, come on, when you organize yourselves, when you learn organization skills, then you will cause things to happen in a chronological order or in an organized manner, and people will love and they will want to do business. They will want to engage you. They will want you to be part of their team. Thank you so much, Peter. I think back to you, unless you need some more clarification concerning that question.
No, I think this reminds me, I had already forgotten that we did wash cars with you at the University of Nairobi, and probably Professor Kinyanjui or Dr. Kinyanjui might be listening to this one at some time, and she will be like, my students are like killing it. So yes, the humility and just doing something without expecting something back. I think you bring some really really, really solid points there. And getting organized. Some people think when you're in big offices is where you get organized. You can get organized even by plowing a land, cleaning the cars, and those small activities that we do. So probably looking at your answer to that, not sure how you will deal with this one, but what do you remember the most from your time with Global Youth Forum? And how did this particular experience impact your life or the community you lived in or you are living in now? It can be a different story from the one you have shared, or it can be even the same one, but I'm just curious to hear about your activity or your memorable moments at Global Youth Forum.
Oh, well, Peter, that was an amazing question. I remember the activity we did. It was civic education. We took the role of educating Kenyans on matters of elections, on matters of politics, and how we ought to treat each other. I mean, I got an opportunity, to elevate myself. I'm sorry, I'm not bragging, for a position of being a civic educator. And I remember, having a chance, to read materials, again, understanding, equip myself with knowledge and go online and educate fellow Kenyans on how we ought to conduct ourselves in just ended election. I mean, the 2022 election we did just recently. And I truly believe the Kenyans that I reached through my various videos were educated on matters of election, on matters of handling, differences. So to me, that marks to be one of the most historic moments while I was volunteering in GYF back in the year 2022, because it made me realize that it is important to be an all-rounded Kenyan. I mean, you shouldn't just be this kind of Kenyan. If you're a doctor, if you're a banker, you only know stuff that pertains to your career. I mean, it's just banking and that's all that you know. I mean, you should be an open-minded person, because politics affect our day-to-day lives. I mean, they affect how we do business in this country. They affect how we interacting. I mean, we cannot ignore matters of politics. So it gave me an opportunity to realize that matters of politics, matters of elections count much in our day-to-day lives, and we need to address them. And I remember very well, Peter, and I think I should remind you this if you forgot. You remember I had to act as the chairman of the independent or IEBC, Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission. And I remember I branded myself as the chairman, Professor John Mutuku. And I remember telling Kenyans on how we'll be handling, this election. And I remember giving brilliant, ideas on how I'm going to handle this particular election and ensure come after the election, this country is gonna enjoy peace. I mean, we will coexist peacefully as brothers and sisters. And some of the brilliant ideas that I was giving, I remember telling, Kenyans that I'm going to bring the media close and educate them on how they ought to conduct themselves when handling matters of election, when reporting these outcomes. I was just in another world, and I really educated Kenyans. And that really reminds me of something very important in this life: peace. And this country just recently, we were crying for peace. No matter the outcomes of that election, no matter the outcomes of the judgment that was given the High Court, we had a life to live after that ruling was given out. We had businesses to do, we had employers to serve, we had, engagements, to keep on running. So we were to focus much on our life thereafter more than on, the results, the feelings. It's normal to get angry. It's normal to, to get emotional. But then you should be wise enough to, manage emotions and be able to mitigate, any kind of evil that may be brought by, hunger, bitterness, and that really shapes you into being, a significant or rather an important human being. Thank you, Mr. Peter. Back to you.
I think this reminds me, was it the Civic Educator online challenge? Is it the one?
Yes, the one which you gave me few marks.
All right. Okay. So for members who are joining us or who are watching this later, we are having Mr. John Mutuku, our 2020 volunteer, sharing his story, his journey, and he just finished. He reminded me, I must have forgotten, and that's like an honor to be like interviewing your volunteer and just trying to reflect on what you've done. And you never know that these small things we do to these other young people really impacted their lives. I totally forgotten about the virtual or the online civic educator. But purely you played the role of the IEBC chair, and now you know how that role can be. And lately, again, we did an interview in relation to the elections, and which you contributed really nicely. So there is a link there connecting your past, present, and probably seeing a bit of where you are going. So again, thank you for that. A timely reminder, I must say. So, a bit about your journey. I know you must or you might have done a bit of a project, but tell our viewers or somebody who might be wondering, what project have you done after you volunteered or by the time you concluded your volunteer work at Global Youth Forum? Have you done any project? And have you applied some of the skills you gained at GYF? And what were the results? If you ever received results from projects you've done by applying the skills you learned at GYF. Do we have any, Mr. John?
Yeah. I think I will start with one that may sound to you and to the other audience, I mean, very as a funny stuff, but to me it is very meaningful because it gave me an opportunity to employ or rather, use what I learned way back in 2020 when I was a volunteer in GYF. The skills, the creativity that concerns, making videos, editing videos. I've been using that skill that I shaped it while I was a volunteer way back in 2020 in GYF to influence the community around me in these present days. I remember a friend of mine was wedding and he needed, a wedding invitation video. And I told him that I can do for you an amazing stuff, and I gave it a trial. So I used a combination of the skills that I gained when I was volunteering, because I remember I made a lot of those videos, to make part of my assignments that I was given when I was, introduced to various programs. So I remember making for him a wedding invitation video, and it was so cultivating because I wanted to make it appear as one of the best videos that he will ever see. So I employed those skills. Come on, I made that video and it really cultivated me. And I want to be honest to you, Mr. Peter. I still have a picture. I still can hear the voice of, the music that was playing in the background in the video that I made for him. Excite, guys, that this guy is wedding and you come on, you should visit, you should attend his wedding, you should support him. I'm gonna make the same video when I will be wedding, and I will use the same, if that is the will of God, the same background music. Peter, come on, that thing was cultivating, and I used the skills that I learned in GYF, and it really made me, see, wedding as a beautiful stuff, and want, to one day, walk someone's daughter on a red carpet. Yes. And so it was amazing. I learned, editing skills, making videos, speaking before cameras, and I used it to help my friend, make his wedding interesting. Then another thing, there was this moment where we were competing against, volunteers. And, I remember there is this volunteer by the name, what is her name? What is her name? The one who challenged, Dominion, she ever dominated. So I remember those sessions that we were competing for the topmost, the best of the best. So there were much skills that pertains, to an individual's, way of running program. I mean, how can you organize yourself? If you are given a task, how best can you manage it alone and, without, getting consumed by the challenges that comes along with that particular activity or assignment, by not being pushed away by other staff that do not really add up into what you've been given? How can you just manage things alone and, give excellent results? And that was, skills of managing things as an individual. So that one I've been employing in my workplace. I want to be honest with you. And in NCBA Bank, we have an amazing culture. We have competition that comes along the year, and we compete against branches, and the best branch or the best team wins an award. And I remember we did one a couple of months ago, and I remember when I was asked to contribute on ideas or what I thought it could be best for us to emerge as winners. I remember flashbacking, remembering those days when I used to make those videos, when I used to make those stuffs. And I said, come on, we can do this. And I want to be honest with you, 100% of the opinions of the ideas that I gave as my contributions are linked or are well connected to what I learned when I was a volunteer in 2020 in GYF. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Peter.
Thanks, Mr. John. We call you Prof. So looking at these stories, John, I never knew these stories. But to be honest, you are trying just to paint a picture out there that being a banker really needs, you doesn't just need to be in a corner and just say you are good with money. Now you can edit videos. You are the you are the IBC chair, and you have all these skills that you gained through volunteerism. And this to me makes it more interesting, Mr. John, and it is really more humbling to hear your stories and how you have gone out to apply these skills. So I'm just happy.
In fact, Peter, just a minute. In fact, using the same skills that I gained in GYF is only because I am lacking some resources, but I truly believe very soon, by the grace of God, I will be having resources. So using the skills that I gained back in 2020 when I was a volunteer in GYF, come on, I have some good news. I'm going to create my own podcast, and I want to touch the corners of this world. I'm telling you, Peter, get prepared. It's going to be an amazing things, and you will be proud of the things that you did way back in 2020 for John as his coach, as his mentor, as his director, because I'm going to create an amazing platform that will educate millions of people across this globe. It's coming very soon. You keep on waiting. When it's out, I'm gonna, call you and tell you the stuff is out.
Tag me along, John. I'm so excited, and I'm glad I did make an impact. So for you who will watch this later, who are joining us live, we wanted, for example, people go out and they get volunteers and they put words in their mouth. For Global Youth Forum, we want to be real with you. We just wanted to be real and honest. Have these people actually gained something by volunteering at GYF? It has been a journey of over 6.5 years. For example, it is 6 years, 8 months. We've just been building this platform, building and cultivating our skills, empowering these young people. And now this is our first episode where we are hosting our first volunteer to share his stories. For the past 6 years and 8 months, just building something silently. And now I'm just humbled, and I really want to go out there and do more, touch more lives, because hearing some of the people we worked with, be it just that 1 year, be it that 6 months, but they gained something that they've continued to use in their life, makes you feel like I really want to do more. So John, if we jump on to the next one, for example, if somebody's just out there and wondering, is this opportunity, I know we are now recruiting volunteers for 2023, and they are wondering, is this something really for me? Who would you recommend this program to, and why?
That's a very good question. I don't want to be selfish, because I understand it. Again, that are behind, GYF programs. So I don't want to be selfish. I don't want to be selfish. I want everyone to be the kind of person that is speaking before this camera, that is speaking to quite a good number of people, following this program. So the following people, I will recommend you to be part of GYF. If you are in third year of your studies, or if you are in college, or if you've completed your high school, or if you've completed your studies, I understand you are taken through a system that gives you an opportunity to learn numbers, become good in theory, and become good in what you are studying in college. But the real life is shaped by programs like the one that are offered by GYF. So to everyone listening to us, you are in your fourth year in college, you are in your third year, no matter the kind of program you are doing, whether you are pursuing medicine and surgery, whether you are pursuing theology, whether you are pursuing engineering, mention those kind of courses that you people are studying at the moment. If you are in your fourth year, come on, this is the right time you start looking for Peter and his team, because they are going to show you how the real world looks like. They are going to add one of the most important parts of what you need for you to be competitive enough to compete well with other individuals in the job market. Because honestly, when I left college with my degree, how many degrees were out of college? Many thousands. Are we together competing for the same position that I am serving my beautiful employer today? So many people. Are you getting the point, Peter? So if you want to be competitive, you need to tell the interview panel that I've got something that the other people do not have. I can work without getting paid and deliver excellent results. And if they ask you, have you ever done this before? Tell them, come on, I've been a volunteer in GYF. And I did stars. I helped my community realize some stars, and I wasn't getting paid anything. So when I promise you that I can work without getting paid anything, because what drives me in work is not the salary. What drives me in work is not what you pay me at the end of the month. What drives me in this job, what drives me in this life is the desire to want to serve the human race without expecting anything in return. And that was cultivated in me by GYF. So if you are in fourth year, third year, even second year, come on, look for Peter. If you've completed college, it is your first year, second year. I know some of you completed college, you are lucky enough because of connection in the corporate industry, straight in the job, but you are struggling in certain areas, not because you are born to struggle, not because the system is tough, not because the system doesn't favor your degree, your skills you gain in college. It's because you lack what Peter and his team offers. You lack some interpersonal skills that Peter GYF is ready to offer. So come on, look for GYF, and they will shape you and make you someone who is a hard person to get. Someone who is hard to get. That particular top person that employers are really, really looking for, that individuals, because they know when they have him or her in the system, is gonna help them make more profit. Thank you so much, Mr. Peter.
I think there you bring a really solid point. We graduate, yes, but what else do we have to offer? And if we go to work, businesses want to make money. You can't make money when you can't communicate. You can't make money for others if you are not confident. You can't make money for others if you are not organized, if you are not humble. And look at what John now is able to share with us some few years down the line. We never knew, we were just having fun and we were just enjoying ourselves. I remember we were going somewhere on a trade, we were doing activities, And John was there working with these children. I never knew he was going to apply these skills. So for the program he touched on, we call it at Global Youth Forum, Molding for Work. It is purely learning by doing. We just don't ask you to go talk to people. You have now heard about John. He doesn't have any background on video editing. We asked him to go and make videos. And he went out and gave more, like he at least tried. He ended up making a wedding video to a friend. You can see how that is really interesting. So for us, we believe in getting young people to learn by doing. For now, at Global Youth Forum, every single thing we can learn on Google, we can just type it on any browser and it will come, all the notes. I can study actually anywhere, provided I have the internet and I can access these online resources, I can study. But John is now painting a picture to us that if you come and join Global Youth Forum, not necessarily Peter alone, working with other volunteers, we will shape each other and we will be able to grow together. And that is a really solid point. And now, I know we can be excited and we can speak for a whole day. John, what advice would you have for somebody looking to volunteer with us in 2023?
Well, that's an amazing question, Peter. So I want to be honest to everyone, right? I've shared to you all beautiful things, my experience in GYF as a volunteer in 2020 and what I have become off from that particular program, and you loved it, you loved everything about it. That's my belief. So this is my advice to anyone looking forward to joining GYF as a volunteer. Number one, you must be willing and of course available to serve as a volunteer. You know, you can be willing and not available. Your availability is very important as much as your willingness to serve as a volunteer. Number two, you must be humble. You must be humble and you must be ready to learn. Are we together? Must be humble and you must be ready to learn. If you are not humble, you are going to have issues with your supervisors. You are going to be having issues with the people that you'll be serving. And I will repeat, as a matter of emphasizing, the quality of being humble is very important. When you are humble, you will be a person who can be taught. And if you are a person who can be taught, then you will be a person who can learn. And if you can learn, you will be a person who can accept change in an easy way. So that is my advice to everyone looking forward to joining GYF. Yes, Peter, back to you.
Thank you so much.
One thing, Peter, I should tell someone also.
Go for it.
No joking, no messing around, no joking. GYF is a no-nonsense program, right? If you are going to drag yourself with some dramas that are not important, you will run away from GYF. GYF is a serious organization, just like the likes of Google, profit-making organization, just like the likes of NCBA. We are serious individuals because we want to make money. GYF is a serious organization because it wants to transform the lives of people whom it reaches every day. So don't bring your jokes, don't bring your dramas there, go there, learn, and you will become a great person. Back to you, Mr. Peter.
Thanks so much, John. I think there, for the viewers or who is looking to volunteer with us, John might have some teeth to bite, but when you join us, we always smile. We have time basically to categorize. We got time for joking, for example, when we go to the beach, clean that. But when we have serious job that really needs doing, then that's what we do. And this just to emphasize, Jonas, we come to the end of the Volunteer Stories Dialogue series, is just to tell members, if you want serious things done, obviously you've got to put your feet forward. And you have highlighted a number of things. Be humble, be ready to learn, create the time. Don't go like, for example, you see around people want to volunteer, but then when they get in, they start mark timing, they give their bare minimum. Obviously, yes, everybody can do that. But if you want to change your life and you want to transform your life to the next level, be ready to put in what you really want to get. They say you get out what you put in. John, you are cutting short in 2 or 3 words. Being our first volunteer to create a story for other volunteers to follow in the future. What will be your parting shot? And to be honest, from Peter, I'm really happy that I had to host you today, and for creating this time. It's like an honor to hear your story and how, together with my team, we impacted your lives. And I hope you will continue to build more things in your community, transform more lives, and create a better world.
My parting shots?
Yes.
Passion automates dreams. When you have passion in what you do, you will bring your dreams into reality. That's my parting shot. Passion automates dreams.
Passion automates dreams. What a classic way to end our dialogue stories with our first volunteer to step on the stage and share his experiences. For you who has watched this one, we don't want to cook, we don't want to edit, we want to give it to you how it is. So John, it's an honor to host you, and being my guest has energized me to go out there and just do more for others. And I hope that we also find more time to work together. So